Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. It's your girl Danny, aka Luminous Reflection. If you guys are subscribed, thank you for being here. If you guys are not, make sure you guys are connecting with me. I really do pray and hope, and I set the intention that this video, this live, gets out to the right people out there who need to hear this message. And the message today is to start taking action in your life. So many of us, we stay stuck in survival and we stay stuck attached to people, situations, jobs that are unfulfilling just because of comfort, because we feel like that's the only thing that we can rely on or that we have that defines us. And in reality, no job, no person outside of you defines your worth. The only thing that defines your worth is the actions that you take. It's the amount of faith that you have, the fact that you keep going no matter how hard life gets, no matter how challenging life gets, you keep going. And it's important to keep doing it. It's important to keep showing up for yourself. You know what I mean? Because movement is what creates flow. Movement is what creates momentum. And if you want to see better in your life, if you want to see results in your life, you need to keep pushing forward regardless of how hard life gets. And I'm going to be so real. Like, life gets hard. Life is challenging, and I feel like the world doesn't prepare us enough for what happens in the life. Like, we always hear from our parents or elders, like, oh, when you get older, you'll see whatever, like, it's gonna hit you. But they don't be talking about it. And then we grow up and we have to figure out the world ourselves, and it gets hard, because a lot of us start to fear being alone or fear putting ourselves in different situations, scenarios, because we didn't grow up to see that around us in our lives. Like, maybe you didn't really see people around you becoming successful, creating their own income, making money, like whatever it is. Maybe you didn't see that around you. And so now that you're an adult and you're in a position where you can have those things, you don't feel like you can because you've never experienced it and no one around you has experienced it. And that right there, that is your belief system. A lot of us, we're stuck in a belief system that is limitless, that is limited, right? We limit ourselves to what we can do, how much money we can attract, how much love we can have in our life, how much happiness we can have in our life, right? We limit ourselves. And unfortunately, there's influences, there's people around us that kind of keep us stuck, kind of want us to, and I feel like it's unintentional that we have people in our lives that kind of like pull us away from like what we need to be doing because of their own insecurities, fear, whatever it is. But it's like, it's because so many of us limit ourselves, you know what I mean? And that's why sometimes when you want something bigger, when you want to do something different with your life, you need to be willing to step outside of the box. You need to be okay with the fact that with what you're doing, not everyone is going to agree with what you're doing. You will have people that will judge you. You will have people that will say negative things. You will have people that will pray and wait for you to fail, you know and sometimes you'll have people that will wait for you to fail, and the moment that you do succeed, then they want to join, then they want to hop on the bandwagon, then they want to claim that they know you. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so important to like literally just do your own thing. Sometimes you need to take action, and you need to be okay with the fact that when you take action, you're going to be alone, you're going to have a moment of solitude, you're going to have to do things on your own. You may not always have the support, and I feel like that's where a lot of us get stuck. We wait for external validation, or we wait for people to give us the okay and the thumbs up to do this thing. But at the end of the day, what happens when you don't have that support? Does that mean that you're not worthy of this thing? Does that mean you shouldn't do this thing? No. Like, you should still go for it. You should still take action, regardless if you have the support or not. Especially if what you're doing isn't harming anybody, especially with what you're doing is adding value to your life, helping other people. Like, why stop yourself because your mom or your cousins or your friends don't agree, or don't like see the vision? Like, you know what I mean? It's not anybody else's job to understand your life. It's not anybody else's job to see your vision. Like, if you see a vision for yourself, if you see something bigger for yourself, and you have to take certain risks to get there, go for it. Don't let people who are in fear, who haven't tried those things, get in your way and stop you, because a lot of the times that's what they're doing. And like I said, sometimes it's unintentional. Sometimes they do it because they think that they're helping you, and in reality they're not. In reality they're feeding you fear. In reality they're responding to you through because of their insecurities or their failures or what they haven't done with themselves, you know. And I feel like that's where hate comes from as well, and that's why there's also people that hate, because there's people that they want you to do good but they don't want you doing better than them. And so sometimes it's easy for people around you to hate on you and hate on what you're doing and talk down on it, because if they don't believe in themselves, what makes you think that they're going to believe in you? You know what I mean? And that's why, like, a part of taking action is listening to yourself, trusting your own intuition. Like, literally, talk to God, the universe, source, whatever it is that you believe in. Even if you got to talk to yourself, bro, you're the only person that knows you, that knows your heart, that knows your intentions. Nobody around you knows you. People think that they know you because they've been around you for so long, but at the end of the day, people only know you through their level of awareness. People only know you through their own experiences, through their own lenses. But at the end of the day, people don't know you deep enough to know your heart, to know your intentions, to know, like, the deepest parts of you. The only person that knows is you and the creator, God. You know what I mean? um so you gotta really block out the haters, block out the people who, you know, talk down on you and don't want you to take action, you know? And sometimes it is unfortunate. Um, but in order to get to your goal, to your destination, you have to be okay with missing out on things. You have to be okay with the fact that you may miss out on things, that you may lose friends, that you may fall off, you may outgrow people, because now you're stepping outside the box and you're doing something that people around you could never do. And this is why so many people that become very successful and they share their stories, they struggle so much, you know, um, because it's a part of the process. Like, pain is power. Without pain, you wouldn't really learn. You know what I mean? And so sometimes we have to go through pain. We have to, like, let go of certain things, certain attachments. And I feel like that's one of the things too, is that we get so attached to societal norms, to our family norms, to our jobs, to whatever. And we feel like that's the only thing that's for us. And it's not the truth. The truth is that we live in a world that is limitless. We live in a world where, believe it or not, there are people becoming millionaires every day. There are people that are winning the lottery. There are people that are going viral on social media. There are people that are creating their own. There are people that are actually doing it. And maybe it's not people around you, but there are people doing it. And so because there are people doing it, it means that it's possible. And if it's possible for one person, it's possible for anyone. And I get it. Like, there are a lot of people that failed. There are a lot of people that didn't win the lottery. There are a lot of people that failed creating a business. There are a lot of people that failed. But failure should never be an option. Failure isn't an opportunity for you to completely give up on yourself, but failure is an opportunity for you to show up better. It's for you to take whatever you needed to learn and use it to be better. Like, because maybe you failed because you didn't have enough knowledge, or maybe you failed because, you know, you didn't have the right resources. Maybe you like it, you know, for whatever reasons. But it doesn't mean give up. It means, okay, I failed. What did I what where did I stand? What did I do? And how can I come back stronger? You know? So that's one of the biggest things. But I would say, like, no matter how much you failed in the past, no matter how hard things have gotten, don't ever stop yourself from taking action. And this is a very, very powerful time to do that. You know what I mean? Like, we're still in the first month of 2026. And, you know, so many people, like, they're weeks in and they feel like, oh, well, you know, I'm failing already. I didn't achieve my goals. It's never too late to keep going, to restart. And that's the beauty of life. It's like, when you're given another day, it means you're given another opportunity. When you wake up every day, it's because there's still meaning, there's still purpose, there's still opportunity for you. And if that wasn't the truth, you wouldn't wake up another day. If that wasn't the truth, you wouldn't be watching this live right now. But you're here for a reason. And I don't believe in synchronicities. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that everything is a synchronicity. And I believe that everything happens for a divine reason. You're here because maybe you're doubting yourself. You're here maybe because you needed to hear something that maybe you didn't even realize you needed to hear. But you're here. You're alive. You're healthy, you know? And maybe you're not exactly where you want to be, and that's okay. But even if you're not exactly where you want to be, you're still always at the right place at the right time. And if that wasn't true, you would be suffering more, you know? So I think that a part of like making sure that you take action is just really having that gratitude. I feel like when you have gratitude for what you have currently, it's easier for you to keep taking action, and it's easier for you to believe in yourself, because gratitude is a magnet of abundance. The more gratitude that you have, the more, opportunities come your way. Because believe it or not, when you're in gratitude, when you're feeling gratitude, when you're feeling love, you're on a higher frequency, a higher vibration. But when you're hating, when you're doubting yourself, when you're, you don't feel worthy enough, when you're feeling insecure, when you're just in fear, you're in a lower vibration. And that's literally what creates your reality, the way that you feel. People think that God, the universe, responds to what it is that you're saying, but no. The universe responds to action. The universe responds to movement, energy. You can sit here and tell yourself, "Oh, I'm going to be successful. Oh, I'm going to do this thing." But if internally you're insecure, if internally you don't believe in yourself, you're most likely not going to get that thing. Because it's not about what you're saying. It's not about putting a performance. It's not about wearing a mask. It's not about acting perfect, because the universe doesn't, you know, respond to you being perfect. Because you can wear the makeup, you can, have the best Instagram pictures, you can go on the best vacations, but if in your heart you're carrying hate, you're carrying guilt, you're not believing in yourself, how do you expect the universe to respond to you? You know? So you have to go within and learn to be authentic and learn to come from a place of love. And sometimes that means healing your heart. It means healing from the things that you went through in your life. It means accepting that certain things didn't work out for you, and it just didn't. And knowing that you're not always going to get an answer as to why. You may not know why this relationship didn't work out. You may not know why certain people said things or did things. You may not know why, but you're not always going to know why. But you have to work with what it is that you have, and you need to be grateful for what it is that you have. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you went through pain. At the end of the day, yeah, you missed out on certain things, but you're still alive. You're still breathing. You're still breathing. So those are the things you want to be grateful for, and you want to keep in your heart. And I feel like I said, when you learn to be grateful for everything, it makes it easier for you to want to do more for yourself, because you don't attach yourself to the past, you don't attach yourself to failure, you don't attach yourself to your mistakes, and you understand, like, regardless if this thing works for me or not, I'm still going to be in gratitude. And that kind of mindset is what gets you further in life, further than you think you will ever go. Like right now, I don't have even 50 people on this live, but guess what? I'm gonna keep speaking. Why? Because I truly love what it is that I do. I love speaking. And I know there are people that may not like what I do. There may be people that hate on what I do. There may be people that think that it's stupid for what it is that I do. But I don't care, because it makes me happy. It makes me feel good to know that even if there's one person on this other side of the screen, that this one person is getting this message. And that's the intention. That's the point. It's not to be perfect. It's not to come on here and be like, "Oh, I'm going to get a million people. And if I don't, I'm going to be devastated." No. Whether I have one person, whether I have a million people, I'm still going to feel good and satisfied, because I shared something meaningful. Because what I shared isn't harming anybody. What I shared isn't bringing anybody else down. What I'm sharing is empowering. And if it's not empowering to the next person, then that's okay. I'm not here to control anybody's narrative. I'm not here to force people to believe in what I'm saying, but I'm gonna speak. And I always say, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. That's how you gotta live your life. That's literally the way that successful people live their life. They don't worry about the pain. They don't worry about the hate. They don't worry about what other people gotta say. They don't worry about how people feel, because if they want something and they feel like it's their sole purpose to do whatever it is, that they're gonna do it. You know, they're gonna do it, because, like I said, the minute you become successful, right? A lot of the people that hate on you, they're gonna, start asking you for the secret sauce, the formula. How did you get here? What did you do? How long did they're gonna start asking the questions? But it will be the same people that hated on you and doubted you. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I've had to learn. And unfortunately, I had to learn that lesson through people that I was closest to, through family. You know what I mean? And it hurt. But I'm still very proud of what I do. And I'm still very grateful for what I do. Hold on a second. But yeah, you can't let people get in your way. Like, for so long, I feel like I used to do that. I used to care so much about what people said. I used to care so much about how people felt. I used to feel like, you know, oh, I want people to like me so bad. But it's like now, I don't care. Because I think that it takes more energy when you're stressing and you're trying hard to get people to like you or to get people to want to be around you than just getting up and doing your own thing, living your life. And that's the thing. People feel like you need to have people in your life. Like you need to have a partner. You need to have this. People are made to come into your life to add to you, not to create your life for you, not to change you, nothing to add to you. And this is why self-love is so important. This is why confidence in yourself is so important. Because it is like if people come into your life, great. If they leave, that's okay too. But you won't be hurt because you know yourself. You're doing better for yourself. You're healing. You're taking action. You're doing what you want to do. You're not here to live for anybody else but yourself, you know? And that's really important to know too. At this point, I think I'm just rambling, but it be true. Like everything that I'm saying, it really be true. It really be facts, you know? Like, I don't feel like there's any way to go against what I'm saying because it's real life. And it's things that so many of us need to learn. It's things that so many of us need to tap into. Self-love, self-care, putting yourself first, doing things for you, taking action for you, not taking action because this is what your mom wants, not taking action because this is what your friends want, taking action because it's what you want, you know? And sometimes when you really want something, like I said, you gotta stand alone. You literally have to stand alone. You can't always wait for somebody to hold your hand and walk you because nobody's going to save you. Nobody is going to hold your hand and save you and tell you the answers, and it's just you and God. But those friends, people are temporary. That's the thing. People don't believe that. Like, and I'm not saying, oh, don't enjoy your time with your friends and don't whatever. Enjoy your time with the people that you have in your life. But don't get so attached to a point where you feel like you have to explain yourself to these people, where you feel like you have to live for these people, where you feel like you have to change your character for these people. You know, enjoy what you have. But as you grow, as you evolve, as you want different, understand that you will outgrow people, and that's okay. That's literally okay. I want to say thank you so much for liking my live. Thank you to people who are in here. Like I said, whether it's 1, 2, 100, 1,000, I'm very grateful all the time. And I feel like I should be grateful. I don't usually come on live on YouTube. I was actually very nervous to come on live on YouTube because the last time that I came on live on YouTube, people were really rude and disrespectful. But and on TikTok, people are like very nice and supportive. I actually have a very big community on there. But I told myself, you know what? Like, why am I gonna not come on here just because other people are rude or just because other people, like, what they say or what they do does not define me. It has nothing to do with me. I'm not the one saying the negative things. I'm not the one bringing other people down. It's them. So why should I stop myself from speaking my truth and sharing when at the end of the day, yes, there will be haters, but there will also be people that will need to hear this message, or there will be people who actually resonate with this message, and that's more important than anything. So I still showed up. And this is me taking action. This is me taking my own advice. Like I'm telling you guys, take action, do what you want, put yourself out there regardless. So this is literally me doing that right now. And I'm very proud of myself for doing it. So thank you to everybody who's just been in here, even the people that came in and left. I'm still very grateful because you guys have a choice to stay, or you guys have a choice to watch my content. And when you choose to watch my content, it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel like, okay, like I'm actually serving my purpose, and I'm actually connecting with people that need to hear whatever it is that I'm saying. And for those that don't resonate with what I'm saying or don't like what I'm saying, I always say, like, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, you know. But again, to I can't force people to stop hating. I can't force people to, like, not be negative. Like, I can't. Like, person the only thing I have control over is myself, my emotions, and how I choose to show up for myself. And I choose to show up for myself with confidence. I choose to show up up for myself from a place of love and understanding that nothing outside of me will ever define my worth. Nobody outside of me will ever define, like, just who I am as a woman. And I think for so long I allowed that, and I take accountability for that. Like, I know that I've played a role in my suffering because I used to be so reactive to people, and give people the satisfaction of a negative reaction whenever they would, like, say something negative or whatever. And it's like, that's what people want. People say negative things because a part of them doesn't feel safe, or a part of them doesn't feel secure, or a part of them just is miserable within. And so sometimes it's easy for people to go online, or easy for people to just be hateful and bring other people down, because for some reason it brings other people satisfaction. And I learned that. I was like, you know what? Like, the more that I react and the more I explain myself and the more that I get upset, the more I'm satisfying this person. And so I had to learn to, like, really stop that. And so I've been posting not just on YouTube, but I've been posting on TikTok as well and Instagram. And I've formed such a beautiful community, and I'm very grateful. Because, like I said, like, from someone being insecure to now is amazing. And I've had people come on my platform and be like, oh, well, it's so easy for you to say because you're pretty, and it's easy for you to be confident and have self-love because you're pretty. And it's not about being pretty. It's not about being pretty, being ugly, none of that, because there is no real definition of beauty. Beauty looks different on everybody, you know. Um, and so it's not about that. It's about building your character. And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people focus so much on their image and how they look, but they don't focus on their character. Because you can be beautiful and still be miserable and ugly within. Um, and I feel like that's so important too. And it kind of relates to what I was saying when I talk about, like, just doing things for you, taking action. Is like, I'd rather be alone in this world and have a pure heart than have a whole bunch of friends and have an ugly heart and be miserable within. Um, and that's just what it is. So don't feel like, oh, just because someone's pretty or just because someone looks attractive to you, because there's people that will think that I'm so ugly, but just because someone is attractive to you doesn't mean, oh, that person has it easy, or oh, that person just has confidence because they're pretty. No, because you don't know what people went through, like for me, like, I may be beautiful to people out there, but I went through a lot of bullying growing up, you know. I went through bullying in school. I got bullied by my family members. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, you really never know someone's story. So you can't just say, oh, they have it easy. Nobody in this world has it easy. I'm going to tell you that right now. Everybody goes through stuff. Everybody in this world goes through something. And that's because, like I said before, pain is our biggest teacher. And sometimes, and a lot of the times actually, we will go through pain in our lives. We will experience loss. We will outgrow people. We will go through a lot of pain, but it's a part of life. It's a part of the evolution. If you don't go through pain, or if God doesn't expose certain things to you, then you will never know. You will be surrounded by fake friends if you don't go through betrayal, right? You will be surrounded by toxic people if people don't expose their true colors to you, am I right? Then you will be around them. So sometimes you may think, well, what the fuck? Like, why would this person do this to me? That's just that person, how they are. And it's just being revealed to you. So rather than look at it as something to suffer about, look at it as a blessing in disguise. Like, yeah, it sucks to lose people. It sucks to go through breakup. It sucks to realize that certain family members are very toxic. But at the end of the day, wouldn't you want to know? Rather than be surrounded by fake things, fake energy, and then not feel happy and fulfilled around those people, and then feel like you're going crazy. Because that's the thing, a lot of us, we water down and we ignore our intuition because, oh, that's my family, oh, that's my friend. Yeah, every time you're around those people you feel anxiety. Every time you're around those people you're entertaining gossip. Every time you're around those people you're getting triggered, right? But you're ignoring it, you're suppressing your feelings because, oh, that's my family, oh, this is my job. That job is not the only job that you're gonna have in your whole life. That relationship is not the only relationship you're gonna have in your whole life. And I'm not saying, oh, be heartless and whatever, but I'm saying, like, when certain things get exposed to you, just take it, accept it, go through the pain, sit with the pain, but learn from it, you know, because it's a learning experience. You don't just go through pain because God wants you to suffer. You don't just go through pain because, oh, whatever. You go through pain so you can learn, so you can grow from it, so you can come out a better person. Do you think that if I didn't go through the things that I went through, I would not be sitting here in front of this screen right now? For a long time I always felt like I want to do content, I want to do content. I never did it because the people around me that were in my life, they didn't believe in me. They always talked down on me, they bullied me, they gaslit me, they manipulated me, right? And so once I removed myself from those people, what did I start doing? I started creating, because what I needed was change. And sometimes that's all you need. Change in your environment, change from your friends, change from the people around you to get to where you need to get to, or to gain clarity, right? How are you gonna gain clarity? How are you gonna have clarity in your life if you're always distracted? If you're always around people that are bringing you down? You need people that are gonna elevate you. You need people that are on the same level as you. You need people that have the same kind of mindset as you. You know? How do you expect to become a millionaire or how do you expect to become successful at a business or become a millionaire or make money if you're surrounded by people that are stuck in poverty? If you're surrounded by people that are afraid to spend money, if you're around people that are afraid to take risk, you attract, like, what you attract is what you become. If you're attracting people that are always miserable, that are always gossiping, that are always in chaos, then it's most likely you will be around that. You will be in those conversations. Because it's like, let's say, for example, you go to a job every day, and in your job, everybody likes to talk shit, everybody likes to complain. You go to that job, you may be trying to mind your business, but because the environment is toxic and everybody gossips and complain, naturally you start to be a part of that. You know, you start maybe responding in little ways. Maybe you feel like you have to respond. Maybe you feel like you have to agree. And then it keeps you in that state of, then you find yourself entertaining that gossip, right? But then you remove yourself from that and you say, you know what? I don't want to entertain gossip. Because why? Because entertaining other people's gossip is entertaining other people's karma, right? So now, boom, you have to remove yourself from those people. It is what it is. And you have to find other people, people that want to uplift you, people that want to talk about, hey, how can we make money? How can we do these things? So when you start surrounding yourself with those kinds of people, then you start getting these new ideas. You start doing these like habits because you see the people around you doing it. You start learning from those people. And that's what you want. You want friends. You want people around you that you can learn from. You want people around you that you can feel inspired by. You want people around you that you can feel uplifted, you can feel yourself around, and you don't have to suppress yourself. Because when I decided that I wanted to start doing better, that I didn't want to gossip as much, that I wanted to eat healthier, literally the people around me, they started calling me bougie. They started calling me names. They started saying, oh, you changed, and making it seem like it was something bad because they never did that kind of stuff. So they judged me, you know? So what did I do? Instead of dwelling, instead of suppressing myself, instead of hiding who it is that I was, I said, okay, you don't like what I do? That's all right. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna remove myself, and I'm gonna find people who do like what I do, who do agree with the lifestyle that I want, who resonate, who actually have the lifestyle that I want. And that's when I became more confident, and that's when I started putting myself out there. That's when I started taking risks, because that's what I surrounded myself by. But if I would have continued to surround myself by the people that were calling me bougie, that were calling me names, that were making me feel like change was so bad, I would have started suppressing myself, and I wouldn't have been as authentic as I am today. And I feel like that's what makes it easier for you to take action, is when you're already so authentic with yourself. Authenticity is so powerful. And I feel like this society tries to take away our authenticity by creating social norms, creating the definition of success, and oh, you need to be at a 9 to 5 in order to be successful. Success looks different on everybody. A 9 to 5 may work for one person and it may not work for the next person. Creating a business may work for one person, but it may not work for the next one. Stocks, anything like that. So success looks different on everybody. But in society, in societal norms, when we think about what our parents tell us, oh, you have to go to college, you have to get a good job, you have to become a doctor. What if you don't want to become a doctor? What if you want to be a singer? What if you want to be a chef? You know? So you have to find yourself, find your voice. And I think being authentic and being okay with walking alone and not caring about judgment allows you to be authentic and allows you to become more and more successful. More and more successful, you know? And like I said, it's like, don't worry about who's watching. Don't worry about who agrees with you or not. Don't worry about if you're, let's say you're starting content, don't worry about the views. Detach yourself from the outcome. That is the biggest way to become successful, when you detach yourself from the outcome and you just take action. Literally create a tunnel vision. Just literally jump into it without fear, without hesitation, without any outside noise. Jump into it and just keep pushing forward. Don't look back. Don't look around you. Don't look for external validation. Keep pushing forward. And eventually, you will start to see the light at the other side of the tunnel. And I'm not going to sit here and lie and be like, oh, give it a week. Yes, your life will start to feel better in a week. You'll probably start feeling healthier. You'll probably start feeling more clarity. But divine timing is real, you know? And sometimes things do take long, and it's okay. But again, when you have enough faith, and I think sometimes when you get closer to that mark, God, the universe will start to test you more and more, you know. But you can't fold. You literally can't fold, you know. It takes time. Success, all of it, everything in this world takes time. And honestly, I was gonna create like a YouTube video about it, but I decided that coming on live is probably just more ideal. So I appreciate everybody that came in, and this has been being like, you know, supportive. Like I said, it's like you have a choice to be here, and the fact that you're here, it shows, okay, like you're probably resonating with what I have to say. You probably enjoy what it is that I'm saying. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here, because you don't have to, you know, you can keep scrolling, you can watch whatever you want to watch, but you're choosing to watch me. So it is a blessing, and I'm very grateful for it. And like I said, even if it's just one person, I'm so blessed and thankful that I could at least just help one person in the world, and that I could give the advice that I needed when I was going through a hard time in my life, when I was struggling. And that's what my channel, my platform is about. Like everything that I share on my platform is things that I've experienced, things that I've learned, awareness, all of that. And the reason that I share it is because it's like what I share to you guys is what I wish that I would have heard when I was going through a dark night of the soul. I wish I would have heard this when I started losing people. I wish I would have heard this when I started experiencing changes in my life. Like I wish I would have, but I didn't have that, you know? It doesn't mean that I was unworthy of it, but it meant my path was a lot different than many people. And it's like the fact that I was able to learn this within myself through reading books and watching videos and going to therapy, healing myself, is such a blessing to be able to learn. Um, and so now I'm grateful that I get to come out here and have this confidence and this voice to share with the entire world. And you know, eventually there will be more people a part of this community. But like I said, I don't usually come on live on my YouTube channel, which I feel like I should more. I feel like that will help me a lot, just gain more momentum on this platform as well, and build a community. So if you guys are in here, make sure you guys are subscribed to me. Luminous Reflection, of course. I create content on how to become the greatest version of you in every aspect, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I talk about all different kinds of things. I share my truth, I share my story. I talk a lot about healing, healing the nervous system, healing from heartbreak, just healing yourself as a whole, just learning how to become greater every single day, basically. So if those are things that interest you and you enjoy my life, make sure you guys do subscribe. I'm also open to any ideas that you guys may have for me. I have Instagram, which is also Luminous Reflection, and my TikTok. So yeah, make sure that you guys are. I might put it in the description if I can, because I know I'm on live right now. But hopefully it like allows me to do that, so that you guys can just click on the link and then you guys can follow me there, because I feel like on my other platforms you guys can DM me, message me, and I'll be able to get back to you quicker with like any questions, any video ideas that you guys may have. But I'm always open to suggestions. I love when people suggest videos to me, because I feel like sometimes I need it, because I've been creating content for so long. But yeah, I'm so blessed and grateful that I've been able to share with you guys, and I'm grateful for everybody who's liked this video. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are liking it. Again, I love you guys so much. Peace and love to everyone, and I hope to see you guys in my next live, or maybe comment on my next video. But yeah, I love you guys. Bye. See ya. Hold on, how do I end it?